Toddlers learn so many motor skills from their first birthday to the time they turn 3. It's really useful to understand what you should expect to see in your toddler to understand ways that you can help them. So in this video, we're going to go over gross and fine motor skills that we expect your toddler to have, ways to help them develop it through store-bought and homemade toys, and then stay tuned till the end where we're going to go over reasons that you would look for an occupational or physical therapy referral. The first thing we're going to go over is gross motor skills that you would expect your 1 to 2 year old to have. 1 to 2 year olds are going to be able to walk backwards. They're going to be able to hold a toy while walking across just a room, like a bigger toy. They're going to be able to kneel, and they're going to be able to squat. A skill that they're going to be able to have is to climb into a chair and then turn around and sit down. They're going to get so much better at running. They're going to learn how to run, change speed, change direction, and round a corner. They're going to learn jumping. So at first they're going to jump with one foot and then the other. Then they're going to learn to jump with 2 feet together just a few inches. And then by the time they turn 3, they're going to be able to jump with both feet about 1 foot forward. They're going to be able to imitate actions with their whole body. That's where head, shoulders, knees, and toes come in, and all those gross motor songs they're going to be able to do. They can take themselves up and down a slide. They can kick a ball that's not moving. And by 3 years old, your child can be able to ride a tricycle and climb up a ladder in a play structure. Those are quick and dirty things to look for gross motor skills. And now we're going to go over fine motor skills. That's the things that they do more with their hands. Gross motor skills and fine motor skills go together because gross motor is the foundation for fine motor. These are some fine motor skills you would expect. They're going to be tossing balls and maybe even being able to make it into a basketball hoop or into a box or something like that. Just a target they're able to throw a ball toward. And they can also catch a large ball. As far as a writing utensil, you will see them moving on from just random scribbles and dots. Now they're gonna do scribbles that look more like lines and also circular scribbles. And then when they're closer to 2 and 3, they're gonna be able to make just a single line that goes up and down, a single line that goes side to side, and eventually a cross. They're going to get so much better at stacking things, where at first they were kind of banging things together or doing 1 or 2 on top of each other. In their toddler years, you can expect them to build a tower of 8 or 9 blocks. Same thing with stringing large beads, 1-inch beads. At the beginning of their toddler years, they could work really hard and be able to do 1 or 2, and by the time they're 3 they can probably string 5 or 6. Also buttons, 1-inch button, they'll be able to unbutton and button with a lot of practice. They're going to be flipping switches a lot and also turning knobs. Just like they were imitating actions with their whole body, they're going to be imitating actions with their fingers and hands. So open, shut, with your little finger, baby shark, all these little hand motions, they are going to thrive on learning these things. As far as scissors, they can coordinate the motion of holding a piece of paper with one hand and snipping at the edge with another. And also they're going to learn how to complete a 3 to 4 piece puzzle. Now we're going to go over things that you can do with your toddler using both store-bought and homemade materials. If you're liking this video, check out my other video about the same topic, gross motor, fine motor skills to expect, and ways to develop those skills for babies. So that's 0 to 12 month olds. Okay, so how to help your child develop gross motor skills. This is the time where they're gonna be needing a lot of things to climb and a lot of things to challenge their body position. I'm talking ramps, stairs, hills, grassy areas, rocky areas, sandy areas, climbing up on ottomans and chairs, and just overall gentle rough housing. This is a great age when they just want to climb all over you, get on the floor with them, put them on your back, just have a lot of fun with them. That's a perfect thing to help their gross motor development. Swings and slides are the next thing to look for. You can do rocking on a rocking chair, or you can also find a sturdy blanket, have them lay in it, and have 2 adults rock them back and forth. They don't weigh that much, and they're gonna have so much fun doing it. So of course, I'm gonna mention balls in all my videos. Those are, to me, a must-have toy. Your child is gonna work on running, kicking, catching, throwing, squatting, chasing, all those things. You don't necessarily have to have like a basketball hoop, but just any box or laundry basket is going to be perfect for them to look at something and try to get the ball to it. To help them learn to walk backwards, I found that a toy on a string is like the best thing. So, you know, those little toys that have a string and then they have like a horse on wheels or something, or a car, or just if you already have a car, put a shoelace on it and then teach them how to hold it and pull it. And this is also the perfect age for like a water or sand table, because they are still learning how to navigate. Like, it'll give them a little bit of support, and you can put things on the floor too. So that's those little squats. They're gonna work on reaching. Having a sand or water table, or like one of those sensory bins that are kind of like elevated, those are perfect for them at the toddler age. Now we're moving on to ways to develop their fine motor skills. Puzzles are perfect. First, look for the ones with the big knobs that they can hold with their whole fist. And if they're getting pretty good at them, look for the ones with the little knobs that they can hold just with their pincher fingers. For puzzles, I think those are great for swapping with friends or going to a toy library, because sometimes they can just like memorize them and then it's not so fun anymore, or maybe they just got tired of them. So those are perfect things to look for secondhand. So tools. At the toddler age is just the greatest time to introduce so many tools. They can work on using like a hammer and nailing little pegs down. They can work on banging like a drum with a drumstick. They can learn to scoop sand or dirt and put it in a bucket. They can learn to just pour with cups or measuring cups. Any tool that you see yourself using in your life, see if you can hand it to your toddler and show them more or less how to do it. Even like a whisk and a bowl. This is the perfect time to introduce things like that. And their hand skills are going to be getting so good. At first they were putting like shapes into a shape sorter, coins into slits. Now they're ready to put things into smaller things. So they can work on putting beads in like a shampoo container. Just the motion of like dropping smaller things. And they can work on putting dried spaghetti pasta into like a colander. This is all helping them develop the skills that they're going to need to eventually write. So with that same idea, Play-Doh is perfect. Before they turn 2, it's going to be really common that they're going to want to taste the Play-Doh. So I would look for a taste safe one. But after around 2, a lot of kids can play with Play-Doh. Kids love making a birthday cake. So you can make a pretend cake and stick candles in it. You see that same motion that we were talking about with the spaghetti and the colander activity. It's the same thing, just poking things in. Also with the Play-Doh, that's a really fun way to work on the scissor skills. You can get like plastic scissors or just real scissors and just watch them carefully. They could be rolling it flat with a rolling pin, making cookies. They could be pinching it, be rolling it. So many things to do with Play-Doh. So whatever you do with Play-Doh, you can do with actual dough too. So it might be a fun experience to make cookies all the way from scratch, so they get all those fun experiences and the sensations and the smells. So I think at the toddler age, chalk is really fun because it's more of a whole body experience than like writing with paper. Even though they might like that, chalk is really fun because they're going to be squatting and then they can practice those lines that we talked about. Just like I'm always going to recommend balls, I'm always going to recommend books. Before they were working on turning the page, pointing to things. Now they're understanding things more and able to manipulate little interactive like flaps that the books have. Like incorporate songs and finger motions, so you can talk about like saying like no no no, or like shh shh shh, or like shh, sleeping, little things like that. So of course it's kind of obvious that I talked about stacking before, so stacking blocks is going to be perfect for them. And also like those stacking rings, like that classic toy, that toy can go a long way, because at first they're working on taking things off the stacking ring, then they're putting it on, and then they're putting it in the order of like small to large. I hope you feel more confident in knowing what to expect out of your kid and how to help them get to where they need to be. So 3 things to look for that are signs that your child can need a referral to occupational or physical therapy is if he's not walking by himself by the time he's 18 months, if he's mostly toe walking by the time he's 24 months, and if he's not imitating actions with his whole body or hands by the time he's 24 months, those signs could just mean that he needs a little more help, and the earlier the better, always. So go get a referral and see what they say. And if you live in California or Texas, you can work with me virtually. If you're interested in your free consultation, give me a call at 619-631-5398 or send me an email at christina@brightandearlyot.com. I focus on sensory and motor early intervention. So this is like before they get to school and start falling behind really quickly. Let's jump in now when their brain is so ready to learn and they need to learn. So I hope that was useful. Is there something that you've done that really helped your child develop his gross and fine motor skills? Please share in the comments. I look forward to hearing from you and have a great day.